Micklow, and I'm here with the Bar Stool Preachers. Introduce yourselves.
Hey, my name's Bungle.
I'm TJ.
I'm Tetley.
I'm Webbles. I'm Alex.
I'm Gibbs.
This is your guys' first time touring America. How has it been so far, and can you share some of your most memorable experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So far, it's been absolutely brilliant. We were met in San Francisco by our family, Pirates Press Records and Pirates Press. From then on in, it's just been a bit of a crazy blur. Everything's bigger, everything's a little bit more intimidating. All the fans don't know us yet. It's been one of those ones where just kind of building it up piece by piece. The van still smells exactly the same. So, you know, it's got its pros and cons.
It's cozy. It's cozy, yeah.
Is there a smelly person in the van?
There's 6 smelly people in there.
What's some of the best stuff you guys have seen so far, being in America? This is your first time actually touring here.
The show at Pirates Press is kitchen. I know I keep banging on about these guys, but it's the first show they've ever had there. And the craziest thing for us is to see that the clubs have been packed and the people know the words and people they understand the vibe that we're going for, they understand the message. And that is probably the craziest thing we've seen. When we tour, when all bands tour, I guess, we don't get to see that much, especially when you're driving 9 hours from Sacramento to Pomona. So we've seen a lot of the inside of a van, but the scenery was pretty good coming into LA today. Yeah. It was pretty nice. And then you.
I got a shout out to the woman who was down by the side of the stage, air guitaring in San Francisco, the whole way through her set. Yeah.
She knew our lines better than we knew our lines. It was impressive.
Oh, that's so amazing. Air guitar. That's like a sport now. They have actual competitions for that.
They do, and it's big. It's in stadiums and shit.
World Championships of the air guitar in Brighton a couple of years back.
They really?
Yeah.
See, we're in the wrong game, boys.
This week you guys released 3 new singles through Pirates Press Records and are coming out with an album this summer.
Yeah.
What inspired those songs, and can you talk about what went into making that album?
Yeah.
There's 2 main things that came out of the band. We found it's love and politics. So they're the ethos we try to stick to as much as possible. And it's.
I mean, I guess as a band, we always play what feels good. We always write what feels good. If it feels natural, it feels like it's our style, then it's our song. We don't put ourselves in a pigeonhole or anything like that. But I think the natural thing that came out with this album was that we felt like a lot of people in our situation across the world are really underrepresented. So that was a lot of frustration, a lot of anger at the political systems that are in place at the moment. As a collective, we think that they're inherently broken. We think they don't work. They don't proportionally represent anybody at all. And on the other hand, we like love and we like beer. So it's one of those things that we just keep mixing the two together, and it seems to go down well.
So the title track and the title of the album, is that Italian?
It is, yeah.
Grazie Governo.
Grazie Governo. There was an explosion, Mount Etna exploded, and countless times the people had told the government that it was going to happen. Countless times they were completely ignored by the government. So everything that the people had, the government deemed not worthy to bother saving. So it erupted, and as the lava was pouring down the hill of this tiny little town in Sicily, one man set out a wooden table and chair, opened a bottle of red wine, and in big red letters on the side of the wall just wrote Grazie Governo. So we heard that story and we were like, you know what, that really for us resonates.
Yeah.
We thought we'd share that story with the rest of the world.
I mean, that's horrible. I mean, it's an awesome title, and but it's an awesome line in the song, but that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's absolutely dreadful. And the same things happen in time and time again nowadays all across the world. If you look at loads of inner cities, we see the same things in London as we do in San Francisco. We see the same things in Berlin as we do in Paris. These things are happening everywhere. People are being ignored by their governments. People aren't being represented, and they're telling them that. And it doesn't seem like they have an option. And what we're trying to do, apart from just have a rad time, is get people to unify behind some sort of idea that we are in it together and we can get out of it if we work together.
Sure, that's an awesome message to send to everybody out there, because I feel like in America, people can be kind of apathetic. It's not, we don't have the same fight like you guys do in Europe?
It's one of the biggest things. Apathy is poison, and it's so hard to shake that. All of our lives, I'm going to go on a rant here, I'm really sorry. All of our lives and all
done
of
it
the,
again.
I know, I'm so sorry, boys. Give me a second, all right? All of the things and all of the stimulus in our lives that we see.
Get up on your bar stool and preach.
They're designed to keep us in this place where we don't have information. They're designed to keep us in this place where we don't have an option of just going into their race. And if for a second you think that you're going to change that by putting your head down, if there are things in your life that aren't working and you think that just concentrating on you is going to solve that at all, you're completely and utterly wrong. That apathy is rife through everything, and it's exactly what the systems that are in place want you to have. They want you to feel that. They want you to think about yourself before you think about your neighbour. They want you to fear. And that's not what we're about.
Oh, that's so sad.
But I think there is some cause for optimism. Like the populist politics of the last few years, we've seen like a real reaction to that. We've seen Bernie Sanders making waves in the States. We've got Jeremy Corbyn doing the same thing over in the UK. It's like some sort of socialist movement is coming together.
It's at least an awareness towards a modern day community, which it seems like the most central governments we have are actually quite right leaning. And I think that's shown through frustration, and you see this extremist views now and the resurgence of the right, which is happening at the moment too, if you look at places like Italy and Greece and Spain. But that's all totally natural. That's happening because it was designed to happen. Okay,
released another single titled Choose My Friends with Amy from the Interrupters.
Big shout out to Amy, we love you. And the Interrupters guys, absolutely all the love for you guys. Thank you so much for being a part.
Yeah, big up.
So how did you guys link up with her to make that track?
So we actually toured with them last year. They came over to the UK. They said that they were the Bar Stool Preachers. We want you guys to do it. So we were a little bit blown away and very humbled by the whole thing, obviously. And then we played a few shows with those guys, made really good friends, realised that we share a lot of like similar views and a style of music, which is really nice and rare nowadays. Like ska punk seems to have kind of died, and in some ways it's not a bad thing. But but Amy was brilliant enough just to say like she would love to do it. They all are true professionals, and she gave us a hand by coming in and just adding her amazing voice to our record.
That's awesome. It was awesome to have her as the female perspective on that song because she has such an amazing voice for a female, very very raspy and strong.
Absolutely, it matches her character.
Yeah, for sure. So your dad is actually Colin from Cock Sparrer.
He is. That's not how I know him, but that is how apparently the rest of the world knows him.
Yeah. How has he inspired you and influenced you as a musician?
I guess the biggest thing he did was just support everything and anything I did. There was no push for me to go into music in any way, shape or form. I mean, growing up in a musical household really helped, you know. And everywhere I go, people play Cock Sparrer. Stop it, they're amazing. They're doing enough on their own. So yeah, I mean, I'm really lucky. My dad's one of my best friends in the whole world, and he's been an incredible soundboard, not just for me, but some of the other guys in the band. I've had chats with him and Daryl Smith from Cock Sparrer sort of over the years that we were sort of forming. And yeah, I guess the biggest thing he's ever done is just be an incredible person and give me a real good role model to try and emulate.
What's the best piece of career advice he's ever given you?
Oh, tough one.
Stop stealing my clothes.
Best bit of career advice he's ever given me. Never be afraid to be yourself, I think, is the big thing. People always expect anything with a McFall in it, or us to be this oi punk band, and we're not. We do our own thing and do our own merits. And I think probably the best bit of career advice he's ever given me is, stay true to yourself and stay fucking humble. Just stay as humble as you possibly can, because nobody's better than anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, that's such good advice. I love your dad. He's so cool.
What a G-man.
He's so cool. He's always so smiley.
He loves these guys as well. So Alex is vegan, and like we've all got a few different dietary requirements and stuff in the band. And he'll go out and he'll call me the night before. We'll come in at 3 o'clock in the morning after a show, pissed and knocking things over, and he'll be like, "Hi, so I put the vegan sausages in the fridge, and everything you guys need is all out for you. Did you do that?" No. Yes, you so did. All right, yeah, I did. It wasn't for me though. It was for this lot.
That's so nice. I'm vegan too. So, hey. This year is actually going to be my first year attending the Rebellion Festival in the UK, and I saw that you guys throw a party every year. Can you talk about that party and what makes it special?
We don't remember the party. That's what
There's music there, but it's more than that. It's the grand social of the year in the UK for the punk scene. Well, worldwide, there's people come from everywhere, and we rarely get to see like all of our friends from all over the world in one place at the same time. So what better time to throw a party?
Yeah,
Totally. It's a really good excuse to throw a party.
It's a family thing as well, right? So it's always, for me, it's been that way. I've been there since I was sort of 6 years old, back when it was holidays in the sun and all that stuff. But it still has that real sort of familial vibe to it. Everyone is out there just to have a good time. There's no one fighting. There's no one having one up over each other. Everyone is literally just there to be a smiley, happy punk rock community for 5-6 days in a weird little English town.
You get to go to like the hospitality capital of the West Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to book a holiday, don't Google image Blackpool first, because when you get there, you're going to be so disappointed.
You could stay in the Hotel California.
Or the Orbiston.
Or the Orbiston.
Wait, what does that mean? Like, what should I expect? I've never been to Blackpool, so.
We're not going to ruin it for you. You come up and
If
find
you
us at Blackpool and we'll see if it's exactly what you expected.
I mean, like, you know, I'll be honest, all the hotels there did look kind of shitty. Is that what you're trying to get at?
And they're all exactly the same. You've got triple fried food and a Corby trouser press, and that's pretty much all you can get away with.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'll hit you guys back up when I'm there. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me. I'm really excited to see you play today.
Thank you very much. Just one last thing, then we are releasing the album Grazie Governo at Rebellion, just to tie it in at the end. So yeah, August the 3rd, you can grab your, if you're over this side of the pond, it's Pirate Express Records. If you're over our side of the pond, it's from us.
First time I've seen the album in the flesh.
Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. Look at that.
That's so cool.
We're the Bar Stool Preachers, and you're watching Last Rockers TV.